Next up, we have a beer from a really interesting brewery, a relatively new brewery from 2015 in the north of Germany. Check this out. Have you ever had a beer that comes packaged in its own wrapping label? Hey, welcome back to Views and Brews. I am Brendan, and this is a very classy, sophisticated looking bottle of beer wrapped in its own wrapper. And it is Insel Cap. This is Insel Brauerei from Rugener Insel Brauerei from Rugen Island. It's north of Stralsund, on the north coast of Germany. So that's kind of northeast of Hamburg, northeast of Rostock, big island up there. There is a purpose-built brewery there. I've done a little bit of research on this beer because I just find it so interesting. You've got such an amount of information being fired at you. It's a German beer, but this beer has won, or this brewery, I should say, has won multiple awards in the London World Beer Awards over several different years. In London 2016 World Beer Awards, Insel Cap Oatmeal Stout won gold medal. So this is an oatmeal stout from Germany, from a 2015 brewery. The head brewer and owner and beer sommelier is Markus Berberich, who sounds like an interesting character. It's in Rambin, Germany. I'll put a link down in the description below. I'm checking up my my notes here. I noted just in the picture on top of the brewery they have a massive array of solar panels on this on the top of this brewery, which I find really intriguing. This is going to be a really forward-thinking brewery, really forward-thinking in terms of, you know, where they've positioned their brewery, how they're using renewable energy, how they're making their beers individual, their unique selling point, individually wrapped. I think this is a bottle conditioned beer. We're going to find out in a minute. But what an incredible way to be sold. All of their beers, by the way, are wrapped in these paper sort of labels. And the idea behind that was give them a bit of sophistication, a bit of class, and to keep them from being light struck so that there's no changing of the hops in it to make them skunkier, all those kinds of ideas. And on top of that, it just looks so great. When I was given this beer by Jürgen Teske, when I was given this beer by a friend online, he didn't tell me anything about it, but I spent a little while looking up the brewery, and I just find that, you know, you should check this link below of this brewery, because I don't think too many people know about this brewery in Ireland or England. But the beers coming out of it, I'm guessing, I've never had one, but I'm going to guess that this is going to be a really well-made beer. The head brewer, owner, beer sommelier, Marcus, he seems to have poured his heart into this brewery, and it's a purpose-built location brewery. And I just feel, I feel that this guy is going for medals. I feel that this guy is doing everything he can, without having tasted the beer yet, to make his product the best out there. And it's only 5 years old, this brewery. So is this going to be, this is the question I'm asking myself, is this going to be a really amazing beer? Or is it going to be rubbish? I don't know. It could be bad. I'm going to keep hold of this really nice collectible beer bottle cap on the top. That'll go in my collection. Eventually we're going to get some, we're going to get the beer bottles put, beer caps put down onto this barrel, and they will be there for forever. So it'll be one from every brewery. I think that's about 200 different breweries. So let's just open this one carefully. Now, I haven't refrigerated this beer on purpose. I want to get as much of that roasty character from an oatmeal stout that I can. And just to really see all of the flavors that have gone into making this beer. Now, lots of people make oatmeal stouts, but I think this is probably the first one that I've had from Germany, in all honesty. Lots of the German beers that I've had recently have all been traditional classics, or classics that have been born, or new modern versions of the classics, we'll say, some of them. What else can I say about this beer? Flaschen Riefung, I don't know. I don't know what that word says there, but let me just guess that I have a feeling that means bottle conditioned. Could be totally wrong there. Okay, yeah, that's all it says that I can read on the back. Oatmeal stout, aperitif digestif. Oh, okay, hold on. Yeah, can't read that. Okay, let's just pour this beer and get it going. Let's see what sort of carbonation we're going to get on the beer. Let me just hold it up closer to the camera there. We're not going to pour too much, but I'll get a decent head going on it. Really, mountains of carbonation going on the beer. Dark sort of tobacco tan head on this beer. Has that kind of like cafe au lait sort of coffee colored, you know, really interesting deep complexion of a tan head on it. And just see, I'm swirling it around because I want to see, is there a lot of stouts and porters you get, sometimes when you open them from a bottle as opposed to getting them off a tap in a pub, you get this fizzing noise. If you get that fizzing noise, you know that the acidity in the malts, the dark malts that are used to make the beer, is just killing that head. It's absolutely biting into it and just tearing it apart and effervescing out the bubbles. Whereas I feel that there are small and medium bubbles going on in this beer. The head is definitely moving away, but there's a densely compact area of the head that's sticking around. It's getting darker. It's getting more of that sort of cappuccino look to it. But the bubbles are medium to small. It is 5.6%, so it's not a beer that should be able to carry an oatmeal stout that should be able to carry too much of a head, because those dark malts in a lower ABV beer will likely dissipate most of the head in all beers lower than 5.5 to 6%. 6% is when you start getting decent, thick, creamy heads. But this one, 5.6%, right on that bottom limit of where you're going to get a nice head on the top of it. It is sticking around. If I swirl it up again, what do I get? A little bit more. They are tightly compact bubbles. What can I say about the beer itself? It does feel like I can't see any colours coming through this beer at all. So I'm guessing that there are dark malts in it, but maybe what's really made it thick and unfiltered and cloudy is the oatmeal in it. It is an oatmeal stout, so that thick slickness comes from the proteins in the oats, and those are keeping this dark jet black. It feels like I'm about to drink an Irish beer here. We'll give it one more swill and we'll just have a smell now. Lots of coffee coming off of this beer straight away. Lots of bright, fruity notes of the coffee bean. Maybe it's a medium roast rather than a heavy roast of bean. It has like a fruitiness rather than a sharpness that you can sometimes get from coffee beans. There's a dog in my garden, and I don't own a dog. Okay, someone's dog is in my garden. I don't own a dog, but I do own a cat who doesn't like dogs. We'll see what happens next. Really nice, inviting coffee aroma on the nose. A bit earthy, a bit not really minerally. A little bit minerally. I would say a bit of mocha, a bit of chocolate going on. This like a milk chocolate with coffee complexion aroma on the nose. Very nice, very inviting aroma. Not sharp, not a little bit fruity, but not sharp, and I'm glad it's not sharp. The head has dissipated, but it's still ticking along, even though I'm spinning it up. Let's give this one a sip. Cheers, Prost, Slancha. Hope you're having a beer along with this beer review. If you're not, pause it and go get one. And let's enjoy the first sip of this beer. Well, it's got that really quintessentially oatmeal stout flavor to it. It's not overly robust. It's not overly acrid. There's no sharpness to it. It has a mellow coffee note going all the way through the beer. This beer has obviously been designed to have mountains of coffee coming through. And sometimes when you use those dark malts, like chocolate malt and patent malt, if you use too much of them, you can just destroy the head on the beer. It's still sticking around and it's doing a good job. I think they made a good call on making this a 5.6% beer. I don't think I'd like it if it was 4.3, 4.6. I think it would come across thin. I think it would be fizzing in my ear. I think the head would die off straight away. And I think that the mellow roast character of the... There's that dog. Mellow roast character notes of the malts used in this, I don't think they would come across as smooth. The oats in this beer are just really doing a great job of... it's really nice, this beer. Really, really nice. Okay, let me think about this a little bit. There's a restrained fruity element. It's fruity and then it just tapers off. And it tapers off into this really mellow coffee idea that is in no way bitter on the palate or any way sharp. Silky smooth beer. This is, wow. Okay, this is a really nicely made beer. It's obviously won this gold medal for a good reason. Awards in beer sort of events and ceremonies and World Beer Awards, they have categories. It doesn't just have to be this beer that won gold. Several beers in this category could have won gold as well, but this beer is worthy of a gold. And I like the fact that they've put that on there with a bit of pride, and as well they should. And it's on the front as well. But just to sort of say, this isn't the best oatmeal stout in the world. This is just a gold medal winning stout. And it deserves it. It's really, really enjoyable. I'm loving this coffee. I'm loving this coffee element to it. And what I really, really enjoy about this beer is it's not offensive, it's not sharp, it doesn't attack your palate. It just lets itself just slowly glide through. I really think the idea of adding oats into this, it is an oatmeal stout, but I really think the addition of oats is a great call on behalf of the brewer. Wow. I'm going to pour another little bit of that. I am getting some interesting notes of, I won't say sherry, but I will say top notes of like mellow, gentle, warming ideas similar to cherry and ideas similar to sherry. That just are very, very pleasing. It's like a very faint, mild vanilla. Oh God, the mouthfeel of this beer is what wins it for me. Bitterness kept moderate to low, but the mouthfeel of this beer is just silky smooth. It's just gliding down. And I think that's because they got the ABV bang on. Let me see if I can see anything else on this bottle to give me... oatmeal stout. Yeah, it doesn't actually tell me much. It's a whole lot written on here, but I can't read it. Weizen malts, so there is wheat in here. Okay, that's interesting. Or is that Weizen malt? Zutaten, Brauwasser, Gersten malts. I'm gonna say that there might be a little addition of wheat malt in here. There is a faint bready character going on, but really you'd have to search for that. It's just all about this really cafe, I don't want to say espresso, I want to say cafe mellow, but quite strong, but still kept in check coffee aroma and flavor to this beer. It sits all the way back into the palate. Absolutely silky smooth, lovely beer. Look, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this beer. I could go on all day about it. Really great. Check out the link in the description below of this brewery and the attention to detail that they've gone to with their website and with their bottles and with the quality of the first beer that I've had from them out of the glass. I have taken some notes down. I've just remembered. They have said coffee, chocolate, dry, bitter, spicy. A little bit spicy wrapped up in it. Roasted, a little bit creamy body. Creamy, light and refreshing is the way they've described this beer on the website. And I would totally agree with that. And the coffee and the chocolate, it is nice and dry. It is an oatmeal stout. I don't know quite yet, is it bottle conditioned? No, it doesn't feel like it is. I did take one more note. This bottle is €2.59 to buy on their website. Well, I can guarantee you that is as good value as you will ever see in an oatmeal stout of this quality. So €2.59 for an incredible beer. Small bottle, but just enough. Very enjoyable. Cheers, Sláinte, Prost. Thanks, Jürgen, and it's on to the next one. Bye.